Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about how to solve pre-level puzzles. Puzzle is a very important topic in reasoning and it is a very scoring topic. Puzzle can fetch you a kind of 20 to 25 marks in prelims, particularly in reasoning section. And puzzles is such topic which doesn't require any base element or basics that you must know. It is a topic where you can just read the question and start solving it. The only thing you need to solve in puzzle solve puzzle is that a kind of tricks. I would not say tricks. I would say that a method to solve some puzzle, because earlier when my initial preparation stage, there was a circular arrangement. I used to draw a circle and then mark it 8 people and then solve that puzzle. But nowadays we don't do that. Nowadays we solve it using thread method. So that's actually very easy method, and it just requires a kind of practice. Other than else, the thread method is not something which requires a kind of very much concept. If you are a beginner or a fresher, you can start solving questions using thread method. And I would suggest that if you are a beginner and a fresher or a fresher, that if start solving circular arrangement using thread method, and even square arrangement using thread method. Because if you first we will solve by drawing a circle and or a square and then solve it, then after getting the concept we will start using thread method, that I would be saying that you will be left behind, because nowadays freshers are just using thread method and everyone is actually getting along with that method. So not only thread method, there is a dot method for flat or box type puzzles. So we will see in today and also for this session how to solve such kinds of puzzle. And I believe that it is required to know such tricks and the concept or method to solve puzzle, because it is actually very easy and it will be fun while solving puzzle. I hope if you are a beginner, please watch till the end, because I will be touching all topics today and even further session. So we'll go to the session first. So these are the key points. First is that don't solve puzzle based on a types. So okay, we have a lot of types of puzzle like box puzzle, flat and floor puzzle, and circular arrangement, square arrangement, straight line puzzle, double row puzzle, and then month based puzzle, designation based puzzles. So all the puzzle have same concept. Just read the question and solve it accordingly. So rather than solving it based on types of puzzle, I would say just solve the puzzle based on your recommendations given on your screen. I mean, whatever type of puzzle comes before you on the screen, you start solving it. Don't categorize puzzles. Even the mains puzzle, I would suggest don't categorize puzzle. And I haven't actually, till my 3-year preparation, I haven't categorized my puzzle while solving. So, and the second is very important. Many people still try to solve puzzles by just reading the question and solving accordingly. I would suggest that try to write it via condition type. I mean, we have to write a kind of gist of that question in keywords, because that will make you easy and that will reduce your time, and accuracy also you will maintain. So writing condition is much better than just read and solve puzzle. And just read and solve puzzle is actually a very old method. Well, actually, if you say RRB clerk level puzzle or even SBI clerk level puzzle, you can draw or solve puzzle by just read and solve. But if you want to solve IBP's PO or any PO level puzzle, you better write condition and solve it. And nowadays even you don't need any multiple possibilities or double possibility solution. You can even solve puzzle using single possibility using finger rule. And then now we'll come to the keywords. So if there is a line in the question saying that B is 2 floors above A, so what does that mean is that B, there will be a gap of 1 floor between A and B will be above A, and it is not, and similarly it belongs to below, ahead, behind, away and above. These 5 words means that there is a gap of 1 floor less as it is said in the question. If it is saying that X is 5 floors above Y, that means there is a gap of 4 floor between X and Y, and X will be above the Y. So it is very important keyword, and many people don't know this. Actually, if you don't know this meaning, then you will not be able to solve puzzle. The answer will not come very quickly, and you will get confused also. It is a very important thing. If there is a word that above, below, ahead, behind, away, that means there is a just make it 1 less floor as said in the question. I hope you get it. You are getting it, and we'll see all these conditions while solving puzzle also, because puzzle doesn't require any theory. It's a practical way of learning, and this is very important in circular arrangement. If I believe only in circular arrangement this will follow. If it is written that 2 persons are facing each other and the arrangement is for 8 people, then there will be 3 people sitting between those 2 people, and we can derive this meaning by having a formula. Okay, we have a formula for this. This is a formula for finding how many number of people facing between each other. So if we assume that number of people being n, so the formula is n minus 2 divided by 2. That means if we have a 8 person arrangement, so 8 minus 2 is 6, 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that means any 2 people are facing each other, there will be 3 people between them in both sides, of course. And for 10 person, again 10 minus 2 is 8, 8 divided by 2 is 4, 4 person are sitting between them. And if it is 6 person are sitting between them, that means 6 persons are in the arrangement, that means 2 people are sitting between any 2 people facing each other. This is very very important, because nowadays because while writing the gist or summary or condition, we will not write that these people are facing each other. We will keep in mind that 3 people are sitting between them, or 2 people are sitting between them, or 4 people are sitting between them, right? So this is very important thing to know. And other thing is that there will be a word that immediate neighbor of X so and so, or immediate neighbors of X are facing each other or facing opposite direction. So it is actually a keyword which tells that person is sitting at the end or what. Because if it is written that immediate neighbor of X, if it is given in the statement that immediate neighbor of X, that means X is sitting at the end of the line, because only the person sitting at the end of the line will have one neighbor. So, and if it is written immediate neighbors, that means it is not sitting at the end, it is sitting somewhere other than that. So it is also a very important keyword. This should be keep in mind while solving the puzzle. And in square arrangement, sometimes we confuse that edge is something which is at the corner, but no, in the arrangement edge means middle of the line. If we have a square arrangement, apart from the corners, the middle line, the person is sitting in the middle of that line means edge in square arrangement or any rhombus arrangement or any other polygon based arrangement. Okay, and the direction, neighbors face the opposite direction to each other, or for example M, they both things have a difference. That means if we say that neighbors of M face opposite direction, that means if we have M here, the immediate neighbors will face opposite direction to each other, not M. M doesn't play any part in the picture. They are telling that immediate neighbor of M will face opposite direction to each other, right? And if they say that someone face opposite direction to M, that means M and that someone will have a north-south based or east-west opposite direction according to the question. So I hope you are getting my point, what I am coming to say. So this is immediate neighbor. Neighbors keyword is very important, and edge is middle, and neighbors face opposite direction means the neighbors, they are related to each other, not to the middle person, right? Okay, so I hope these are the some basic thing you need to know. And yeah, this is very important, how to begin a puzzle, because we first what we will do, we will see the question and write down the condition. And don't do the mistake to read the whole puzzle and then write condition and then solve it. At the beginning you can do it, but while practicing after 1 month or 1.5 months, you should not read all the puzzle. First you just read the main question, that what it is telling, how many people are sitting, or how many people are going where, what type of puzzle is that, you need to know that. After that what you will do, you will start write condition by seeing the first line itself. You will not read the whole puzzle, right? And after writing condition, we have no idea how to start the puzzle, from where to start the puzzle. So for that you need to connect or merge the condition. If there is any one person having a lot of connection with many people, then you merge all those conditions. That itself will solve half of the puzzle, right? And start from there. And if you have no idea from where to start, then start with the condition which has a lots of gap between them. If you see, we have there is one person sitting between A and B, and if we have another condition, there is 5 people sitting between C and D. So we will choose the C and D condition, because they have a big gap between them, and that will actually give you the idea to go next step or next level in the puzzle. So you remember this thing, and first is what you need to merge the condition. And if you have a kind of merging condition, you will eliminate the steps of the puzzle. So if you merge the condition, you will get an idea of the arrangement and start with the puzzle. And second thing is that find the gap. If we have choose the condition first which has a lots of gap between any two people. And third thing is that minimum possibility. So what actually is minimum possibility, we'll see further. And before that, finger rule is a trick. I will not say trick, it's a method. It is very important method, because by writing conditions and writing each and every possibility will consume your time. But in prelims, time management is very important. So finger rule is actually a very important knack you need to learn. And finger rule will not come within 10 days or 20 days. It will require a lot of time. It will consume your brain. It will make, because you need to memorize many conditions at once. So that is very important, finger rule. And we will see further while solving puzzle how to use finger rule. So why we need finger rule is because it eliminates drawing multiple possibility. You will be able to solve the puzzle by writing in single possibility. So thread method, I have what actually is thread method is that in circular arrangement draw a circle. So when we we assume that circle as a thread, and when we open the knot of that thread, it becomes a line. So that itself, that is what thread method is. While solving puzzle in circular arrangement, you will be not able to start the puzzle very immediately. You will get confused where to start the puzzle, but in thread puzzle you can start from anywhere. That actually, and you can use your finger rule very easy, and you can solve it very less time, and it will not make you to draw many possibilities. Thread method has a very good cons for solving circular arrangement. Yeah, and very important, thread method I think cannot be used in line arrangement or row based arrangement. Thread method, but actually if you learn the knack to solve questions in thread method, you will be able to solve big mains level puzzle very easily. That's very important, and your mains level puzzle will become a very handy if you solve it using thread method. Okay, so we have seen all the keywords and methods to solve the puzzle. Next we'll go to puzzle. So it's a circular puzzle, and it's a one variable puzzle. So we have, it's a floor puzzle, 8-story building puzzle, and we have A to H are the people, and it is written that the bottommost floor is numbered 1, and then 2, 3 till on 8. So we'll see, here is the question, and we'll see how to write the condition. So we know that it's a 8-floor based puzzle, and it is written, it is also given that ground floor is numbered as 1. So we have write 1, 2, 3 till 8. We have to write in this way because it is said in the puzzle. So first line says that one person lives between A and B. So I have written A dash B. So since this is one person sitting between A and B, you can write your condition in your way. I would not say that you have to write in this way. This is my method of writing my condition. I specify a lot in my conditions. So I would not recommend that you have to write conditions in my way. This is totally very personal, and it's up to you. You can draw your puzzle in your way, because in the end your remarks is important, not the process. So why I have given these two dash around them, this means to me that A can come in any side, right, or B can come in any side. So when I write like this, A, B are interchangeable. So this reminds me that G, H are interchangeable, E, D are interchangeable. So these E and C are interchangeable. So this reminds me, this dash. So that's why I have written in this way. It is not necessary to do that, but actually it actually specifies me to remember. Because sometimes sometimes it is given that G is above D. So that means G will definitely come above D. So I cannot put G below D, right? So in this way I get confused. So to specify little stuff, I make it more specified, right? Okay, so the next line is one person lives between G and H. I have written this condition here. And at least 3 persons live between G and F. So when they say at least 3 persons, they are telling that they can be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, but 3 and more. So 3 and more, I can write it like 3 plus, or I can write it any way. I chose to write plus 2 because which says that plus 2 means 3, 4, 5, whatever will come. So it will be very easy to write. So G, F. So there can be more people than 2 between G and F. So this condition specifies that. E doesn't live on the bottommost floor. So I have written E here and got struck it down. And then one person lives between E and D. I have written E and D. adjacent to A. See, this who and this comma, this plays a very important thing. Whenever there is a comma and then who, this who belongs to D here in this puzzle. This who belongs to D, and even if there is written which, that also belongs to D, right? So who, so D doesn't live adjacent to A. So in this way I have written D A D. This is not possible. Why two D's? Because there can be D A or A D. They can be anything. So I have specified it with a box and I have written a cross mark, which is very important. Crossing is very important, so that you will easily understand from your condition. Then F doesn't live on topmost floor, so I have written F and struck it down. G lives above D. Here is the condition. G lives above D. I have drawn the arrow mark between G and D because we are not sure that how many floors are there between them, and are they immediately above or whatever. So to specify that, I have written the arrow in between G and D. 3% live between E and C, E and C, 3%, and who lives just below A. So C lives just below A. So I have written C, so I have just written A above it. So what does it mean that E dash 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 C, and so A actually comes here, but I have not written A here because E and C are interchangeable, because you can either write like A C dash 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 E. You can write either way, or you can write E dash dash AC. So to specify that you can write in both ways, I have not written A here. Right, so this is the condition. Now we will not see the question, we will see only the condition to solve the puzzle. Right, okay, fine. So here, so I have already told we will choose the condition which has a very big gaps. So there is this, only this condition has a big gap. So I have told two way to represent this condition. So okay, and also I have told about minimum possibility. What actually is minimum possibility is that I am not sure from where I can write E, because they have not specified any floor number. I can either write from 1 or 2, 3, I can write E anywhere. It is open to me. But to minimize my possibility, what I will consider is 8 and 1. Because it is a minimum possibility, I have only one possibility to choose this or this. Right? So I have to, so I can either write E here or either write E here. But they have specified in the question that E will not come in the first floor. Right? So when E will not come in the first floor and I have to use this condition, so I can write C in the first floor, right? So if I write C in the first floor, A will come above and there will be 3% gap and then E, right? Then this is one condition, and another condition is E 1% D. So you may ask why I have not written E and D here, because there is another condition saying that D is not adjacent to A. So I will write D above E, right? Okay, and then I have G is above D, so I have only one way to write G, and G will come here, right? When G will come here, I will write G here, and another condition, that is A 1% B, A and B will come here, and they have told that okay. Yes. Yeah. So G will come here and B will come here in 4th floor, And H will come in the 6th floor, because we have one person sitting between G and H. So H will come in 6th floor, and the remaining is D will come here in 4th, the remaining is F, and automatically it specifies G, more people will be there between G and F. So I think 4 people will be there between G and F. So if you are a beginner, you will be getting nothing while just seeing what I told right now. Actually, this is what is actually finger rule. You will not write, but you will see the condition in your via your eyes and merge those conditions using your finger. I have used my mouse here, so but you will use your fingers. So that actually what is finger rule, and it will make your possibility less to draw many possibility. So what actually this is? So I have another possibility that I can write E here, right? So I write E here because I can write E here, then 1% D, this condition. So I wrote D, and then 3 people between E and C. So I wrote C, and A will be above C according to this condition. Okay, now and see, because of this condition, this possibility get nullified, because D is not adjacent to A, but here D is adjacent to A, so this will get nullified. So we will not use this possibility, we will use this possibility, and we'll see further, even further. Yeah. So by using finger rule only, I have solved this puzzle, this question, but next puzzle we will elaborate each and every step. So I will say, see here. Okay, so C, A and E is confirmed. E is confirmed. Okay, then we will write E, D, because only one person is there, and then G will be above D, because here is the condition. G will be above D, we have only one place left. Then G to 1 person between, and then H, right? Then we have only these 2 places, and another condition, A1 people B. So a gap of 1 person, and then B. So I have only left place F here, and so in this way I solved the puzzle. So this is the answer for this puzzle. I hope you understand how to solve puzzle using finger rule, which is very, very important. If you are a beginner, please learn finger rule. Okay. So this is next puzzle. It is about manager. So it is it is also a circular table. It is actually circular arrangement, and we will solve this puzzle using thread method. So these are the people, MNOGHIJK, and these are the companies. So it is a 2 variable puzzle. We have this so and so companies. They are all seated around a circular table. Okay, and this is the question. So okay, this question involves a lot of involves a thread method and lot of finger rule. I mean mind map. So first we'll see how to write condition. The manager of Paytm is seated third to the right of G. Okay, so this is the first bit, and I would like to we get normally confused which is left, which is right. So during my preparation day, one of the sir told me that when you face it, because if you have a hand, left hand, so this nail part is the left, and this not nail part, that is the palm, is right. Actually he told, because at those time we'll keep the hand on paper and we'll see left and right, so and use the finger rule, right? So it's up to you. Actually while preparing, that stuck into my mind that nail part is left, so I used to see my nails and okay, this is left and this is right. So if you want, you can go for it. If you get the knack that okay, when they say right, okay, it's this side, you can go for it. It's all up to you. Puzzle is all up to you. You can use whatever tricks you need. Okay, so Paytm sits third to the right of G. So I write G, and whenever we write condition, we'll assume that G is facing a kind of north direction. Only when it faces north direction, right will be this side and left will be that side. So you assume that thing particularly, so that your all condition will be based on one direction. So seated third to the right, first, second and third right Paytm, and I will write this arrow because that means this will specify your sitting, because in this condition I haven't drawn this dash line because G and Paytm are not interchangeable. G and Paytm are fixed. If you write G here, 2 places gap and then Paytm on its right side, right? Okay, so next is N is seated second to the right of Amazon Pay. So N is seated second to the right. So Amazon first and second right, N is seated. Who is not near to M? So again, who belongs to Amazon Pay? Amazon Pay is not near to M, so I will write M here and here, because on both sides M will not come, and struck it down. MobiKwik is seated third to the right of O, again simple condition, and opposite to the manager of IA. So it is a circular arrangement and we are using thread method, and I wrote this as a MobiKwik 1, 2, 3 IP, because, and it is also 8 people per arrangement. So when 2 people are facing each other, 3 people will be there between them. So I have write that condition in this way. Why this dash mark? Because iPay and MobiKwik are interchangeable, and this actually means that they are facing opposite direction, right? Okay, there are only 2 managers between H and G. This is 2 manager and they are interchangeable, and manager of Google Pay is seated immediate left of J. So I will write J and immediate left arrow Google Pay. Then manager of PhonePe is seated second to the right of H, but not near to N. So H, first right, second right, PhonePe, and then PhonePe, yeah, but not near to N. This but not near to N belongs to the PhonePe, because they are not telling about H. This but belongs to PhonePe, so we will write N near to PhonePe and stuck it down. And K is seated third to the left of M, so I write M here, first left, second left, third left. So and I will draw this means K is on the left of M, and immediate near to the manager MobiKwik and MPay. So this is that condition. What does it mean? If I write K, MobiKwik and MPay are interchangeable. MobiKwik can come here and MPay can come here, or MPay can come here and MobiKwik will come here. So it is an interchangeable thing, so that's why I have wrote the condition. So we will first draw this thread method. This is thread method. So 8 people are seated in this. We will not draw the circle. We will write in this manner. Okay, yeah. Choosing the condition. So what condition we will use? So I have told 2 things. One, the gap, see the gap, and one, the condition which have lots of connection. So here I can see a MobiKwik a lot. So I can connect this MobiKwik with iPay and MobiKwik with K and then MPay. So this is what merging is. So see, I have seen MobiKwik 3 gap iPay, then with MobiKwik, K and MPay. So these 3 condition has been merged. So I will use this. Okay, so this is a possibility. See, this I have not solved using finger rule. This is to show how by using possibility, drawing at least two possibility, you will solve the question. Even here we will use the finger rule also. It's not that we will nullify finger rule at all. So we'll see. Okay, yeah, I have told that we can start from anywhere in this thread method. So I have chose O here. You can choose O here, here, or here, or here, anywhere. It's up to you. I have chose O here. O will be seated here, and then O, 2 people, then MobiKwik, Yeah, O, 2 people, MobiKwik. MobiKwik and iPay are facing each other, 1, 2, 3, and then iPay. Or you can see in this way also, 1, 2, 3, iPay. Right? Fine. Okay, so here I used okay. So MobiKwik. Now I will make the sitting arrangement for K. I can write K here or K here. I have the possibility to write K here and MPay here, but as a first possibility I had chose K to write here and then MPay here, right? So this is the condition. Now with K I will choose next condition with this. So K is left of M. So K is left of M means 1, 2, M. That means K is seated 1, 2, third left of M. So in this way I will write. Okay, here is the condition. Then I wrote M here. Now I have no connection to write. Fine. Now I have this connection. M is not near Amazon, but I have wrote M here. Right? I have wrote M here. I cannot write Amazon here and also Amazon Pay here. Right? Because it will be near to M, and this is not true according to the condition. So what are the other places I have left? Here itself I have chose. Okay, I have written Amazon here. We can write Amazon here, here, and here. Only these 3 places we have left for Amazon Pay. So I have chose Amazon Pay. If I write Amazon here, then one place, then N will come here. As you can see, there will be a condition Amazon 1 place N. So Amazon 1 place N. If I write Amazon here, 1 place N, there is no place for N. So Amazon will not come here. And if I write Amazon here, Amazon 1 place N, it is another possibility. But we have another thing, that is this. If we write N, PhonePe will not be near to it. So if I write Amazon here, 1 place, then N. So where will I write the PhonePe? Right? I cannot write PhonePe here. I can write PhonePe here. But if I write PhonePe here, I have to write H here. Because see this condition, PhonePe 1 place H. So H will not come here because N is already there. So PhonePe will not come here. So I have this place, PhonePe 1 place H. No, because N is there. Here PhonePe will not come because PhonePe can come here, but again there is no place for H. PhonePe will not come here because Amazon is already there, right? Only then Amazon dash and then N, right? We have told earlier. So when I write Amazon here and N here, there will be no place for PhonePe and H, right? So that place will get nullified. So I will not write Amazon here, I will not write Amazon here. So I have only one place, that is here. Okay, so I have write Amazon, then N. So near to N there will be no PhonePe. So PhonePe, I cannot write PhonePe here because PhonePe 1 person, then H, but K is there. PhonePe 1 person, K is there, we cannot write H here. So PhonePe cannot be written here. So I have only one place, that is PhonePe here. So I wrote PhonePe, then H. Now I again have two possibilities, that is H, 2 people, then G. there is the condition. And I can also write H, two people, G. We cannot write here because N is already there. So I will write G in the Amazon, and after G I will write 1 2 people, then Paytm, right? Okay, we'll write Paytm. Okay, so now I got stuck. Why? Because we don't have any place for Google Pay and for the J. Google Pay, if I write Google Pay here, I cannot write J here. If I write Google Pay here, I will not be able to write J here. So this possibility will get nullified, right? What possibility? Taking K here, MobiKwik, and K here will get nullified. So what next we will do? We will take MobiKwik, K, and then MPay. This is what the condition is: MobiKwik, K, and MPay. K and MPay. Now again, Muir and K, two people, and here is the M. So when we write M here, Amazon will not come here and Amazon will not come here. We have only this area Amazon and this area Amazon. If I write Amazon here, N will not come here. So again I have only this place for Amazon. If I write Amazon, then there is N. If we write N here, we cannot write PhonePe to N. Okay, yeah. So and PhonePe I cannot write here, because if I write PhonePe here, then there will be no place for H. So PhonePe, I have only one place, that is PhonePe, then H. Now I have two possibilities, that is I can write G here or G here. But if I write G here, there is a place for Paytm here. If I write G here, there is a place for Paytm here. But okay, this is the solution. Any other thing? Google Pay, yeah. If I write G here, Paytm will come here, and I will write Google Pay here and J here. So it will get all possible. What if I write G here? G will come here and Paytm will come here, because if I write G here, two places and then Paytm, so I will not have any place for Google Pay and J. So I will write G here, Paytm will come here, Google Pay, and then J, the leftover is I and BeamPay. So in this way we will solve the puzzle. So we have studied two puzzles today. So this is how we use thread method and finger rule. In further sessions we will see how to solve puzzle in more other types of arrangement, box type or square arrangement. And please do practice puzzle daily, 10 to 15 or 10 to 12. It will take very less time when you get the knack of these things, and it is very scoring subject. Please practice, and we'll see in further session. Thank you.